Welcome to the section on function decomposition. This is the first task you will do in coming up with concepts of your own, is subdividing the problem down into bite-sized chunks to make it easier to come up with solutions, and also it helps you concentrate on explicit particular functions that might not be addressed otherwise. So function decomposition is a method to subdivide a complex design or even a simple design into manageable units. It's expressed always as a verb-noun phrase, so you got to get your grammar books out and understand what a verb and a noun are, which I'm sure you know, but a verb-noun phrase, because a verb is an action word, and if something is going to have a function, typically a function means it does something, it meets a need, so you want to use a verb to give it some action. Noun would be what it acts upon, or what data it acts upon. It helps to generate new concepts for each subfunction, like I said, and it's used a lot in software design. Here's an example of a list of design criteria. Small surface, this is for a space docking vehicle. Small surface area, large volume, strong housing, flexible housing, lightweight, safe, and highly visible. These might be design criteria. Let's assume they're design criteria for a space vehicle. There would be a lot more design criteria, obviously, for a space docking vehicle, but we'll just pick these. These might be functions that we'd use to accommodate or satisfy those particular criteria or deliver those criteria to the product. Comfortably holds occupants, lifts total package to a high altitude, stores supplies, protects occupants, minimizes leak potential, provides comfortable climate, and enables navigation. And do these qualify as functions? Well, let's see. They have to be verb-noun phrases, right? So they actually are verb-noun phrases because the first one says holds occupants, holds is a verb, then lifts, total package, stores supplies, etc. So these are all verb-noun phrases. Let's talk now about how you use functions to generate ideas. We're going to have an exercise here that I typically do in class when I present this material in class. We do exercises to confirm what we're learning. This one you can follow along. You can do this exercise by yourself if you want to, or you can just follow me. The exercise is to create as many ideas as you can for a new concept to compete with a standard stapler. There's a standard stapler in a picture, and so the first step we do is we subdivide it into functions. So here are some functions that some students came up with in a design exercise. They are all verb-noun combinations, and they are bind together. That is, the stapler has to figure out how to bind pieces of paper together. It has to contain the fasteners, if there are fasteners. It has to grip a surface, apply pressure, and align pages. Notice there are no specific ideas or solutions in this list of functions. It's very general. It could be for anything that fastens anything together. They could be used as functions. That's very important. When you come up with functions, don't ever put specific solutions in the functions. For example, if I'm going to design a new type of writing device that also erases, like a pencil, one of the functions could be holds rubber eraser. Well, holds is a verb and rubber eraser is a noun, so it works, except for the fact that it's a solution. The function of a rubber eraser is to remove markings. Markings can be removed in many, many ways, not just by rubber eraser. By including the function of hold rubber eraser, you're limiting yourself and you're assuming a design solution before you've ever done a design. Don't limit yourself to specific solutions by putting them in the functions. Make sure the functions are very generic. So after coming up with these functions, the next step is to brainstorm solutions. So can you think of any ways we can bind together something, in this case paper, because we assume we're talking about paper for a stapler? Well, if you thought of glue, that's one. If you thought of staples, that's another one. That's perfectly fine. Even though it's currently used, it's fine to think of that as a solution. So what we do is we put these functions in a table that lets us now list all the solutions we can think of. So we have across the top the 5 functions, F1, F2, F3, F4, and F5. And in the boxes below, we put individual ideas or solutions that we can come up with. You can brainstorm these, and there are many other ways to come up with solutions. We'll talk about those in a later video. If I gave you a lot of time, you'd probably come up with solutions like all of these. There are a lot of solutions in this matrix, and I've stuffed several in each box, which is fine.